Welcome back to all my real ones to another video. So in the previous video, if you watch, I realized I screwed up. I messed up and I had to redo a picture for a client, which so happens to be my cousin. And what I was going to do with this sketch was scrap it, but my lady came in and she basically took over my picture. And she basically saved it, redeemed it. And I think she actually did a good job. She's also an artist herself. So she really saved the photo. And towards the end of the video, you'll see the completion of it. So I think that's pretty dope. Now, given the title of this video, you'll know that you'll get a little backstory of how I started drawing, what motivated me to draw. So here we go. Also towards the end of the video, I'll give you an update on projects that's coming up and all that jazz. All right, so the first time I picked up a pencil to really draw was at the age of 7, about 2nd grade. And during recess at school, it was raining, so we had inside recess in the auditorium, and this kid, this 5th grader, drew this picture of a bodybuilder lifting weights, and I thought it was pretty dope. I never seen nothing like that. And when the bell rang, basically he just left the picture there. He ran off, and I'm like, with such an amazing art and amazing drawing, you would think that, you know, someone would hold on to that. But I picked up the paper and tried to chase him and say, "Hey man, you left your photo," but he was gone. So I kept it. Went back to class and I was like, you know, let me take a stab at drawing this and see if I could do it. And so I got a piece of paper out, drew the picture, didn't trace it. And during class, my teacher was trying to teach something and I'm sitting there drawing. I'm not paying any attention to her. And so she interrupts me and says, you know, "What are you doing?" I said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And she saw it and she said, "Did you draw that?" And I thought she was talking about the picture that that the boy left down in the auditorium. And I told her, "No, I didn't draw that." She said, "No, right there, what you with your hands on, you drew that? Did you?" I said, "Yes." She said, "Did you trace that?" I said, "What's tracing?" I didn't know at the time what tracing was. She said, "When you put a piece of paper over and you draw the outline of what you saw." And I said, "No, I just drew it." And she didn't believe me. So she said, "I'll give you a hall pass to go to the library and get a sketchbook. You got 10 minutes, come back, go straight there, come back and pick out a sketchbook." And I said, okay. So I did that, went to the library, didn't really know how to check out a book, so I had the librarian help me. And I picked this Disney Mickey Mouse sketchbook. And so I went back to class and she told me to hand me the book and she said, "Sit down." Hour before school was out, she said, "If you can get your work done, I have a project for you." I said, okay. So towards the end of that, the day, we had like an hour left in class. She didn't forget. She came to me and she said, "Okay, since you got your work done, you was listening in class." She said, "Let me pick a picture out of here." And she picked a picture. And she said, "I want you to draw this." And I said, okay. So I sat down and in 15 minutes, I had the picture done. Now back then, I didn't really pay attention to really the details in pictures like shading and things like that. I just basically drew the outline of the image. And so I was done and she looked at it and she couldn't believe it. Now I drew the picture bigger than the actual image I looked at, so she knew I didn't trace it and things of that nature. So basically she she said she became a true believer. And that's basically how I got my start. Now, what you're looking at right now is what I consider, or what I call, a progression project. Most of these pictures you'll see, I drew back in 1998, 97, in my early teens. And I just wanted to see over time how I progressed. Now, this image right here, I drew like maybe 4 years ago. And the picture before that was like in 98. And so I do that just to see how far I've come along in my skill. Drawing and being an artist or being an athlete or anything, you can only get better at practice. The more you do it, the better you get at whatever it is you're doing. So I basically am the artist that I am today because it took time and practice. When I was younger and I didn't have a care in the world and didn't have any major responsibilities, every free chance I got, I drew. While kids were, if they were at home and they would, be playing handheld video games and things like that, I was sitting at my desk and I was drawing. And so over time, it really became a passion. And if it wasn't for my mother, my siblings, friends, motivating me and giving me positive feedback, I probably would have gave up on the craft. The older I got, the less interest I had in drawing. But recently, since this quarantine and things, this pandemic was happening, a lot of people have been affected by it. A lot of people lost their jobs, and unfortunately, a lot of people fell victim to this virus. And so most of us are quarantined or staying home, things like that. And I figured, and me personally, my own personal business was affected by this pandemic. So money's real tight. And so I said to myself, now that I have the time, I'm in the house, maybe I really need to do this thing, start this YouTube channel. So I did. And so far I've been getting a lot of positive feedback from the videos, and I just want to take this time to thank everybody who subscribed so far. I am still new at this. The more I do it, the better I get with the filming and the water drop or whatever you want to call it at the top. That'll be gone. I'll be making enough funds to where I can upgrade the system, get better quality equipment, tools. I'll be able to invest in myself to provide you guys better quality content. Now, when it comes down to technique, some people have asked me basically, what do I use, or how do I do certain things or whatever. I really don't have any advice when it comes to that, because I don't follow any basic how-to steps that most artists do. I just typically do a freehand. Whatever comes to mind, I just draw. I don't do much shapes or things like that to produce my artwork. I just let my imagination go. Or I use a reference of some sort to get an idea of what I want to do. Especially if I'm doing the work for a client, like if they want me to do self-portrait or something like that, obviously I have to look at something and draw it. But I don't trace. I don't really use any rulers or anything like that. I just draw. I don't use graphs or anything like that. It's just pencil to paper. And I'm not opposed to any of that. I know it will make me a better artist, but as of now, I don't do any of that. And what I would encourage any artist or anyone pursuing anything, in order to get better at something, you just got to practice. And this is me drawing since I was 7 to get to this sort of level, and I'm 37 now, and in all honesty, I still have a lot to learn, and I learn something new every day. So you never really stop learning. It doesn't matter what craft or career or anything you do, really. You learn something new every day, and it's the same thing with art. You learn different techniques. You know what your strong suits are, what's not, etc., etc. So my encouragement would be to keep going, keep practicing, and you'll just get better with time. It'll happen naturally. Now, before I go and get out this video, my next projects will be, I have a couple of Instagram like models and people who I've linked up with that want me to do like self-portraits and things like that. So that'll be next. I'll do a sketch of my lady as Poison Ivy in this image right here. Oh, that's gonna be dope. That's coming to a channel. That'll be a surprise. You'll know when you'll see it. And so that's it basically. Friday, y'all know I do my recommendations. This image right here is actually, this rose is what my lady drew. That's just to show you the skills. And here's the end result. So I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you guys have a good week. Stay safe out there. Till next time. Be safe. Love y'all.